I'm one of those rare breeds that went to school for photography. So I feel like that got me a good start. And then whenever I moved to Savannah, Georgia, it's such a beautiful city, long wedding season. So many weddings are shot there. And we probably shot 50 weddings a year. But we were film photographers at the time, so there wasn't all the post-production work. Yeah, started with film, shooting weddings. So that really helps you hone in your technical skills, that's for sure. And then whenever I moved to Portland is when I started my own business. I was doing weddings for so many years. You started to get a little bit of the burnout, right? For doing it for so long, and just being intense all the time. So all my brides and grooms started getting pregnant and having babies. And one day it was like, oh, I'm pregnant now. Will you take photos for me? And then, yeah, of course. And then we're going to take newborn photos. And then my portfolio builds. And then they refer me. And so that's kind of just how it built, is really from my wedding clients. And that's how that transition happened naturally. When I first moved to Portland, I actually worked for a company that did a lot of in-person sales. And I was the retoucher at the time that has my side gig while I was building my business. And yeah, I'd see sales come through, $10,000, $5,000 sales. I mean, that was like everyday stuff. And so it was always in the back of my mind, like, okay, I need to start doing this. But also it was intimidating because they had this big, glorious studio. I just thought that that's what you needed to get into IPS. I took a course. That course kind of was a good jumping off point for me for like creating my pricing and my guide. And once that guide was out, okay, I guess I'm now a full service studio and I'm doing this. Did like a print survey recently. I'm like, who actually printed their photographs that I gave digital files to back in the day? And like all the people that did get those prints said that they got more joy from the prints than they would have just the digital files. So I feel like it was really a disservice to not offer that stuff before. But I think they needed also a little encouragement too. Not just offering it isn't gonna do it as much as like, all right, we're having a Zoom meeting and we're gonna like see your photos and we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do with your photos and make it more part of the process so that it actually gets done. ShootDotEdit. Definitely being able to pass on my color correction to somebody else. I mean, to not have to color correct on my photos is fantastic. I still do my cull, even though I am on like a free cull program. I love the idea of like, okay, someday if I don't want to cull my group shots or something, I can at least do that. It allows more time for me to spend with my family or to work on those things that were neglected for years before I started working with ShootDotEdit. So I can shoot more because I'm editing less. We do use Tave for client management, but we don't have very much automation built into it yet. That's our next thing that we are working on. I use White House Custom Color and Fineo a lot, kind of my go-tos. Canon R6 and an L series Prime is where it's at. But yeah, right now it's working pretty well over Zoom. I like people in their comfy clothes, you know, being able to have a glass of wine or whatever while they are viewing their photos. So yeah, I just share a screen and go through a slideshow of images. I then show them any proposals of things that they have expressed interest in. Some people are just albums, some people are wall art, some people are both. So I do a pre-design. We go through the images and we see what their favorites are. What has been the most rewarding about IPS is being able to see people's reactions to your photographs. Because before, whenever I just would send a gallery, I might get an email shortly afterwards that say, oh my God, we love our photos. Or it might not be until I see them on their next session 2 years later that I hear, oh my God, we loved our photos so much. You know, like it really feeds the soul to be able to see like grown men cry, like these big, tough, burly construction men, like with tears in their eyes, like looking away while their slideshow is going. I mean, there's nothing that tops that pretty much. Or someone saying that I really captured like the essence of who they were or something like that is all beautiful.